Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're well and I hope you're having a great day. We're going to do a bit of an unboxing, but I'm not sure where I am in the videos. This could be the penultimate Project Tardis video. I think it probably is. This could be the last one of me kind of doing work on it. So this is Monday for me, and this probably isn't going to go out for a couple of weeks because I've got a couple of Mark's videos to fit in, which I'm sure, well, you'd have seen by now, but anyway. It's booked, it's Monday, it's booked for MOT on Wednesday, and it's pretty much, it's ready to go for MOT now. I could take it down, I'm pretty sure it would pass. I just need to, there's a couple of sort of finishing touches I've got to do. So I'm guessing probably after this video will be the MOT video, and we do a nice bit of buttery shots and cinematic stuff looking around it. But as you can see there, it's looking absolutely phenomenal. It's been compounded, it's been polished, it's been cleaned up, all the interior's been done. It is looking absolutely amazing, and I just needed some little bits to finishing it off. So I'm so pleased with how it's come out. Like I say, I'll do an ending video, and it's never the end, is it? We're going to keep the car. It's not like it's being sold or anything like that. There'll be future updates on Project Tardis, but as far as the sort of project build goes, we are pretty much there. I think this is the last sort of project build update. So it's a bit of an unboxing as well. So it's kind of the final unboxing, the last big order to Mini Spares. And it wasn't that big an order anyway. One thing I did get, I got myself a chrome finisher for the P shooter exhaust on the back. It's actually going to be functional, that is, because do you remember I moaned about, I said the exhaust wasn't great quality. The exhaust just does, it's not long enough. It's like, it's about 2 or 3 inches short at the back. And yes, you've got a centre joint where you can adjust it in and out, but I've adjusted it pretty much out as far as it'll go. If I go any further, there's not enough inside the exhaust for the clamp to clamp down on, and it's still short of the rear bumper. So that's going to be quite functional in kind of extending the exhaust. And yeah, as I say, I put in what will probably be the last order to Mini Spares to finish the build off. And I will, following this video at some point, I will do a video where we go through the full cost, what it's cost me, what I've spent, what my plans are with it. What was quite amazing today, I insured it. So I insured it for myself and my wife. I insured it fully comprehensive. I have no claims bonus to use on it because I'm using my no claims on Sprout, and generally classic car policies you can't use no claims anyway, or you don't build it up, something like that anyway. So fully comp, agreed valuation, 2 drivers. It is limited to 1,500 miles a year. I don't think I'm going to be doing more than that. It costs 76 quid. Unbelievable, isn't it? 76 quid. And I'm sure half of that is sort of insurance premium tax. So yeah, it's very, very cheap. Wow. There's lots of tosh in here, isn't there? Hey! Hey! It's like the magic trick. Right. The first thing we have got is a boot board. So this is, again, previous episodes, although I haven't edited them yet, so I'm sure, assuming it was a previous episode, I was talking about the inside of the boot and how bad it looked, and the outside don't look great either. So I will spray the boot at some time, like I keep mentioning, but for the time being, well, in fact, this I'm going to fit a boot board on the inside of the boot. I actually think these look quite nice, they finish it off quite nicely. On Sprout, it's slightly different. It's got a nicely sprayed boot, so I like it showing the frame of the boot, and hopefully Peter from Stitched Up Interiors will have those little inserts soon, so I can do that. So I've got a boot board, that's going to go in. I've got a set of floor mats. And I've just gone for plain black floor mats. They're nothing special, to be honest. They are just plain black floor mats. There's no logos on them or anything like that. They are just there to do a job. They are functional. And the Canon floor mats that were in it, someone kindly mentioned in the comments, like I said, one thing I love about doing YouTube is, you know, I don't know everything. I know a little bit, but there's always someone that knows on YouTube. There's a wealth of knowledge in the Mini community. And they explained that the Canon floor mats were, Canon supplied the dealership, so they were an accessory. So when you bought the car, floor mats were the accessory. They were made and supplied to the dealerships by Canon. That's why they say Mini on them. So the floor mats that were in Tardis would have probably been the floor mats that it came with as new from the dealership. So I'm going to keep those floor mats. They're rubberized. They don't look, they look okay. They're not that pretty. Obviously carpet floor mats are a little bit more luxurious, and I'll probably use both, to be honest. What I'll probably do is fit the carpet floor mats, and when I've got my dirty feet and that, I'll put the rubber mats over the top. What else we got? Oh, we have a Mini Spares catalogue. I haven't had a Mini Spares catalogue for a while. Sometimes it's useful having a paper catalogue, just so you can have a look through and peruse. And then we have a box within a box. I have not got a clue what's in here. Can't remember what I ordered. I did order a bit of bonnet trim, the bit that goes there, but that ain't in the box unless it's hidden somewhere. More bubble wrap. More bubble wrap. Right, it is in there. So that's the bit of trim I wanted. That's going to take some careful straightening out, isn't it? I wish they had a whacking great big box like that. Why have they fold it over and put it in a smaller box? Mini Spares, come on. Look how big that box is. you could have put it in there straight. So I have to try and straighten that out. This is not actually for Tardis, this is for Sprout. So I've got the rubber strips which go down the side of the sills. Sprout has the original Rover ones on it, which are just looking a bit old and tired, and they're a little bit out of shape, and they get deformed where the sill corrodes and splits them out. I was going to, they do genuine OE ones, but they're about 25-30 quid a side, or the Mini Spares ones are £5 a side, so there's a big difference in cost. Sometimes I still am a little bit prudent with money. I don't just spend money willy-nilly. That's what I tell the wife anyway. and then in the next breath, I don't spend money willy-nilly, but I did buy a brand new bonnet badge. I didn't think I'd be able to get them brand new, but it's a brand new one. Looks beautiful. The old one actually doesn't look too bad. So the old one I did actually have to fix because the centre bit had come off. Oh, they're very slightly different. So the original one is actually like raised, it is metal because like aluminium, and then it's the mini bit and that is actually raised in it. The new one isn't, it's just printed on. So the reason I'm replacing it is because the original one, it had come off It's been glued back on a few times, and where it's metal, it's just bent. It's a little bit deformed. It looks okay. Certainly a piece that I'm going to keep, and I'll fit the new one. But obviously the new one is very slightly different. So if you're a right anorak doing concourse or something like that, you'd probably know that that isn't an original mini badge. Not that concourse judges are anoraks, of course, because I shall never win a concourse if I say things like that. And then the final piece is just the boot lock at the back has the rubber, which goes, someone had fitted the rubber on incorrectly. It actually goes sort of outside with the bit inside, and it's the waterproofing bit. So I did. The original one was no good. That I think is it. So yeah, let's get these bits on. And yeah, MOT on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to driving it down. The only bit I'm not sure on, which I'll probably try and do tomorrow, is the exhaust emissions. Now, being an older car, being a B-Reg, I'll need to check now. I think the CO2 limit is 3.5%, which is quite a challenge for a carburetted Mini. But I think it's probably running about 6 or 9% at the moment. It seems really, really rich. I've got a colour tune plug, so I can have a go at setting it up with that, but I don't actually have a gas analyzer. But my MOT station are always very good, and they will either before or after let me adjust it, so I'll probably just adjust it quickly before the MOT test. So yeah, let's get on with it. Right, this is, I think, probably one of the last bits to do on Tardis. If you've seen in previous episodes, I've said how bad the boot is. It's probably the worst part on the car, where someone has tried to do a bit of a paint job repair on it and they've just not done it very well at all. They've cut corners. So it has, it's got, obviously they've stuck the number plate on with double-sided sticky at some time, but when they sprayed the boot, they haven't taken the double-sided sticky tape off. They've just sprayed over it. I mean, come on. How lazy is that? I think I mentioned in the boot, like, it might have only been a cheap job and removing the tank and that sort of thing, but taking stickers off, come on. That is just ridiculous, isn't it? So they've sprayed all over the double-sided sticky. Everything else they've just masked around. So they masked around the number plate lights. We've got a big lip here between old and new paint. They masked around the badge. They masked around the bonnet lock. They masked around everything. And then they've not sprayed the whole boot either. They've just sprayed around sort of the number plate light and this bottom half of the boot. I can't see that there's any damage there. I can only assume there must be scratches or something under here, because why else did they paint it? But yeah, it's just been really bodged up, unfortunately. So I'm not sure whether I need to respray this whole boot. First thing we've got to do is get all of this horrible sticky stuff off. And then I'm probably going to wet flat the whole boot, machine polish it and see what it comes back like. There is, I think I mentioned before as well, again, it's been painted on the inside, just this inner bit here. The guy said he had this paintwork done just to tidy up the car a bit and just to sort out scratches and things. As you can see, there's no dents anywhere. It's not like it was damaged and they've repaired it, although I think it's just scratches. But it's just had a really cheap paint job and someone's not taken much pride in their work. So I need to get this double-sided sticky off. This can be a real pain, can be really difficult to get off. But again, a friend of the channel quite often helps me out and gives me a call when he sees stuff and says, Keith, try this. So I need to take these off. I kind of knew about these a little bit. So this is like a rubber wheel, and it's specifically for removing stickers and decals and things like this. It's called a caramel wheel. So you put it in a drill like this, and then you, well, let me show you in a moment. You use it and it will take the sticker off without damaging any of the paintwork. So let me just show you if I can. So it makes a little bit of a mess. The rubber is kind of just sacrificial, so the rubber is softer than the paint, so it doesn't damage the paint, and it takes it off nicely. So yeah, that's that gone now. You can still see a line in it, but that's just where it's obviously been sprayed. So let me get this all clean up, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with wet flatting it. Right then, exactly as advised by Paul, that took that off with ease. It come off really easily. Creates a bit of mess. Like I say, that rubber is just sacrificial, so you're rubbing away the rubber from the wheel. It says maximum 4,000 RPM on there, so you don't have to have it on mega speed to do it. But yeah, it took it off all quite nicely. As you can see, obviously you've now got the edges. It just looks a bit of a mess now, and you can see. So when they painted this, that it's not even been primered. This is just painted over the paint underneath. It's not been keyed up or anything like that. It has literally, someone's just got some colour and blasted it on. And I'm pretty sure this is 2-pack paint as well, because thinners doesn't touch it. If I put cellulose thinners on it, it doesn't touch it. It doesn't turn the rag blue or anything like that. So I think that means it's 2K paint, 2-pack paint. It's very hard. Yeah, petrol thinners, nothing like that touches it. So looking at it now, it looks a bit of a mess, doesn't it? It looks horrible. And you're probably screaming at the screen, Keith, just respray it, just respray it. I may do, I just don't want to do it now. But what I will, so these bits behind the number plate I don't really need to worry about because they're completely hidden. So this is the old number plate. Obviously the marks are there from where the old number plate stickers were. So if I just lay on the new number plate, that hides everything behind the old number plate. The only areas I've got then is the down here, the edges round where they've masked up the badge, where they masked up the number plate light, the mini sticker and the boot locks. And now I'm just going to try and wet flat these areas and get rid of this edge around the outside. Like I say, I know some are probably screaming at the screen saying, Keith, just respray it. But yeah, I may do at a later date, but I don't want to do it now. One of the reasons I don't want to respray it as well is because obviously where I have sprayed parts, like the valance underneath, it's underneath the car and there's no direct contrast with the original colour. Same with the wheel arches. So if you spray the boot, it will stick out like a sore thumb because it will just be a different shade to this. Even though this is polished up really nicely, is really bright, it has still faded a little bit. So with new paint on there, it's not going to look right. So I may well spray it at a later date, but for the moment, let's give it a go. We're going to use 1000 grit wet and dry on this. We're just going to wet flat pretty much the whole boot, and then I'm going to machine polish it back with some Ferrecla G3 and G10. Right, so I've wet flatted that now. Always looks a lot worse before it gets better. And I think with this really it is just going to be a case of making it look better. It's not going to look perfect. There are going to be imperfections in it. And as I've said a few times now, I should really just repaint it, but I don't want to do it at the moment. Believe it or not, the paint on Tardis is really thin. I don't know whether that's just old age, I don't know, but when I've machine polished other areas, you only have to go a little bit too much and you'll go through the paint quite easily. So when I've been wet flatting here, it's just started to go through, there. Hopefully that'll be hidden by the badges. But yeah, the paint is it's quite thin anyway. But God knows why they've painted it like this. I really don't know. Let me machine polish that now and we'll see what it looks like in a minute. As the saying goes, you can't polish a turd. And it is a turd, that boot, but you can roll it in glitter. I'm quite pleased with that. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, the boot does really just need respraying, but as you can see, we've got marks around the edges, and the paint, like I say, they haven't keyed the paint or anything, so it literally just peels off in places. But I think that's going to look okay. At some stage I will paint the boot. I must get round to getting a proper paint kit, a spray gun and that sort of thing. It's just expensive kit to get hold of. Well, decent kit's expensive to get hold of. Right, what next? I don't know how well that's going to show on camera, but it's a good 3 inches short of where the bumper is. And like I say, I've adjusted that exhaust back as far as it could go. It'll fall off if I go back any further. So it can't be wrong. Maybe Tardis is 3 inches longer than a normal Mini. Or maybe the exhaust is just not that fantastic. So we've got this chrome finisher. It was actually advertised for a Morris Minor. So a little screw you fit in the bottom to locate it. Obviously you won't see this screw once you're looking down from on top. Just wondering if I should screw that in all the way. What do you reckon? I'll screw it all in all the way, that'll keep it tight. And there's some probably performance people out there now that are looking at that. That's probably going to cost me 0.00001 of a brake horsepower. But look how shiny it looks. Right, that's that new rubber gasket on, but the rubber's really soft on it. As soon as you tighten up the nuts, it splays the rubber out. I've actually ended up having to do them just finger tight and then putting another lock nut on them. As soon as I tighten up tight, this rubber splays out. But again, it's always that thing about, you know, rubber quality on old used car or new car parts, sorry. That's that boot boarding now. Like I say, it's all a bit of it's not very tidy behind there. It wants spraying, so that is a sort of cover-up job, but it looks period. The rest of the boot is all standard. Got that, let me move that light out of the way. Got the original boot mat in here, and then we've got obviously the battery tray and everything else like that. Battery's all clamped in now. Spare looks like brand new. The only annoying bit is this horsehair sort of stuff all comes off. It's a bit messy, so I try and not move around the boot carpet too much. But yeah, that's all right. As I say, standard looking, it's what we want. Right, that's that bit of trim on the front there now. It did straighten out perfectly okay with a little bit of heat. just gentle heat, really gentle. But I will say I've noticed, I've had this before, so obviously I've replaced all the surrounds on the grill, but I forgot to order this bit here, so I thought I'd use the old one, but the old ones, I think they shrink because you just cannot get them on the grill properly, but you get a new one and it fits absolutely fine. So yeah, the front end is looking perfect. Inside, floor mats. I can't get over the interior of this car. It just looks like brand new. Carpets still fluffy, and like I think because it's a Mayfair, the carpets were slightly thicker. They certainly seem to be. I might be wrong, but I think you got thicker carpets in a Mayfair. Obviously the boot's all done. The only thing I'm missing at the moment is the badge that says Mini, and the one down there that says Automatic. I was going to get new ones, but you can't get them anymore. So the silver paint on them just faded, so I'm going to try masking them up and just painting them, but worried about how they're going to come out. So I probably will have sourced them by now, but if you know anyone that has got a new, it says Mini, and the badge down the bottom says Automatic, and they're both plastic badges. Strangely, you can get an older Automatic badge in like chrome, but you can't get the newer one in plastic, and the same with the Mini badge on the back there. I think this week's episode might have been really short. Like I say, MOT on Wednesday, which for me is a couple of days away. I'm sure everything will be fine, and next video I will try and do will just be a proper look around the car now it's finished. But thanks for tuning in this week. Hope you enjoyed the video, and just thank you very much for your ongoing support.